Hey everyone, Tony Chips here, Chiappetta Shoes. This is a workshop live. Today we got a D15 and a D16. Got bad knees, bone on bone, arthritis. Right side, she's happy. She's walking nice and even. We're using a walker, mostly because of knee pain on the left side. Walker is not all the time. It's just kind of when they're going out. But left foot, D16, there's definitely more pronation. There's a lot of abduction, a lot of turning to the outside. So when we're taking a step, right side, nice and normal flat foot, but D15. And then we have left side, extra large abduction, probably about 20 degrees plus. And we're taking that short step. Hips open a little bit, not much stress on the knee. Orthotic, been wearing for 2 weeks, okay? So new orthotic, customers been wearing this for 2 weeks. You look at the shape and the contour, it's a classic D15, D16 foot, not too much there. But even with our process of taking an impression, semi-weight bearing, sub-talar neutral, I think what we have here is just too firm of medial support. The doctor wanted to do even more correction with rear foot control and tilting more to the outside, but I think that we're gonna take it slowly on this one. Sometimes the body fights changes. Materials matter when it comes to custom orthotics. We have a 55 durometer multi-cork. So what we're gonna do today is the initial 2 week, this is the 2 week checkup. She was having a lot of swelling and stress on the quads. So the body is used to turning to the outside and taking these short steps. Well, the orthotic is there to help weight distribution, stabilize the foot and ankle. And she felt like she was walking better, but it caused a lot of stress on the knee and the quad. She actually had to go to the walk-in clinic from the pain. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna have skive out the medial arch, and we're gonna replace it with a 6mm 35 durometer EVA. We're gonna soften this area up. She's still gonna get all the shape that she needs, but we're just gonna make it a little bit softer. So I'll take you top down. When we do this, we're looking at the medial arch here. We're gonna take it from, we have the heel, and we're just following the cork. So we're just gonna take this area, we're gonna bring it in about 3/8 of an inch, okay? Now we can always replace this with multi-cork again, but we're gonna take you over to the grinder. All right, so we got that skived out. If you see this here, we took it in about 3/8 of an inch. We got a nice smooth line where the cork finishes, and we're gonna replace that. We're still gonna keep it squared off with a 35 durometer EVA. Now, a lot of places that you go to, they're not gonna do the best work. We do the best. A lot of places you go to will just skive that out and leave it. We're gonna fill this in with 35 durometer EVA. It's proper to fill it in and keep it squared off so it sits inside of the shoe nicely. I don't want this kind of rotating or sliding in the shoe. You want to keep it squared off. So take your top down. When we do this, cut our piece. Okay. So when you're dealing with people that have different foot types, that comes up a fair amount, not regularly, but a fair amount. There's a couple of reasons different foot types can happen. The primary reason is most people don't start with different foot types, okay? When you're dealing with something that is in the same family, so we got a D15 and a D16. one side is kind of broken down a little bit more. Could be from injury, could be from a major surgery, knee replacement, hip replacement, could be from an injury, broken bone, something like that, a torn post tibia tendon in this case. Could be from weight gain too. Weaker side causes the body to overuse one side. So compensation oftentimes happens. And when we have a different foot type, still within the same family, you can kind of confidently say that the difference between the two is usually one side stronger, one side's weaker. D15, D16. She's weaker on the D16 foot. It's flattening. There's some damage with the post-tibia tendon, and the body's not holding it up as well as it should be. So we got to give her the right tools, to stabilize it. But even sometimes the neutral starting point can be too much. Hence what we're today. When we have different foot types that are kind of in the opposite ends of the foot typing spectrum, you got a B3 and an E18. Oftentimes what happens is when you have different foot types, the flat foot or the more pronated foot, the more flexible foot, is usually the longer side. We typically have a leg length discrepancy. It should be your number one tool to identify a leg length discrepancy. Foot type is the number one tool. When you have a difference that is in the two different families, two different quadrants, that's going to be the biggest tip-off to say, hey, we might have a difference in leg length. So in most cases, when you have a flatter foot, a foot with more flexibility, that's usually the longer side. The body is pronating more and trying to shorten that column up by having more slack in the system. Now, when you have a higher arch or a more rigid foot, typically that side is the shorter side. The body's trying to stiffen things up and make it longer and less flexible. Sometimes we see the opposite though. That's not usually the case, but the body can compensate in lots of different ways. Most often, the body compensates for a leg length discrepancy within the forefoot. That's where you see the difference. So that's a key element to identifying leg length discrepancy. We're not dealing with that here, but it's a little story down foot typing lane. So for today, I'm going to take you back down. We got glue on. We're skiving out that medial support. We had 55 durometer EVA. Materials matter. We're going 35. We're skiving out the 55 multi-quark, replacing it with 35 durometer EVA. We're going to let that sit for a minute, too, and jump back on. Get that squared off. We'll show you that process. Be right back. All right, we're back. We got a D15 on the right, D16 on the left. Too much abduction, knee issues, swelling up. Orthotic's been wearing for 2 weeks. We got to soften this medial support up, medial arch up. We're replacing 55 durometer EVA with 35 durometer EVA. Replacing the 55 durometer multi-core with 35 durometer EVA. So, big thing with this is that she's only had it for 2 weeks. The feet feel good. She feels pretty good, but the knee was giving her a lot of stress. So I think that we were just overcorrecting her arch by giving her something that was a little too firm. It felt fine, but I think that it was just stabilizing the leg too much, so she was walking better. We got to dial it back. We're going to give this about 2 to 4 weeks with the softer setup, and we are always have the option of replacing this again with multi-cork. So the materials themselves are easy to kind of skive back out and replace. With this, a lot of places would just skive this out without replacing it with something. We like to be the best. And when you're dealing with something like this, it's best to fill this back in, both from a functional standpoint for the body and from a fit standpoint. You want the insert to be squared off at the base because it could slide inside the shoe a little bit. So, all right, gotcha, perfect. We're gonna take this over to the grinder here. Give it a little pound. All right, so there we go. We got this tuned up and we got that set up, so it should be much better for this customer. We have a little bit softer medial arch column supporting the foot. D16, too much abduction, lots of knee pain. This has been a workshop live. If you have foot pain, come check us out, ChiappettaShoes.com. We ain't no better than Chiappetta is what we like to say. Thank you very much.